All right, so we're doing some more fix-up work with the art of making out. Sorry, not the art of. Sorry, feelings buried deep. We did a mini merge here. If you don't know how to do it, you just copy the section that you want, hit Command C, and then you do Command M to do the merge. But we're not going to get into that here in this video. So we've got a few things we got to do. So just to kind of, if I can actually get show you an idea, here's the things that we need to do here. Give me just a second. I'm going to just pause the video because I'm going to open this up. All right, so here is the issue with this track, right? So we've got we have a kick, we have a snare, and we have the hi-hat, right? We're also going to need overheads and room mic. Ideally stereo, stereo, stereo. There we go. These are going to end up however they go. And we have 3 plugins that we're blending in. Expand, I don't really know why, but it's going to be in there. Contact 7, and then also SSD. Just leave contact there, right? So we're going to use that to feed the kick dry, the kick snare dry, and the hi-hat dry. The kick dry is going to have what? It's going to have expand, contact, SSD. We're going to blend these to taste. I have a feeling it's not going to work out very well with one of these 3. The snare is going to be dry. We're going to use expand. So we're doing a little bit of planning here, right? This is like an EDM song, so there's not a ton of stuff that's actually recorded originally. So we're using a lot of MIDI. I think some of the stuff that was in the original software was sent over as an actual like WAV file, but I think we're just not going to do that here. Then the snare and then the hi-hat's going to be the same thing, right? So I think you're following where this is going so far. So I'm going to think this out loud here. The overhead, this is where we're not going to use expand for any of the overheads because there's no expand functionality, right? And then the room mics, we're going to need the same thing here. So I just need to plan this out here and see it kind of visually for myself. So here we're probably going to end up using, we're probably not going to end up using this, I think, for the snare. So you can kind of put that here for expand. And then that's going to go this way here. And then over here could go anyway. So we might in real have 1, 3, so 6, 9, 11, 13, so 12 channels because we're probably not going to do the dry here, right? Dry means direct is what that means. We're going to have room as well. And so we're going to have probably about 12 of these. So that's how this needs to be planned out. So let's go back here for a second. Let's go back to our, I'm actually going to write this down on paper because I don't want this to take up too much space. So kick dry. So kick dry, we're going to have expand, contact, SSD, snare dry, same thing, because you have to get a little bit more organized. This is why you never mix until everything is organized, by the way, right? Expand, I'm going to put that here in parentheses or brackets. It's going to be contact and SSD. And then we're going to have the hi-hat. I'm writing this all down here because I don't have to refer to this again. And to be fair, the contact samples, I'm really liking them for this particular track. Not to say that the slate isn't bad. I'm just feeling the contact here a bit more. Expand, the kick drum is actually not bad. I blended it in lots of times, just a generic kick drum, which is really bizarre. There's not much I really like about expand, really, to be honest. It's just occasionally has something that's that just works. So for the overheads, we're going to use contact, and for the room mic, we're also going to an SSD, of course, and we're going to blend them to taste and see what works best. We might just end up picking one of those, and then for the room mics, we're going to be picking contact and also SSD and blend to taste, or throw one of those out. So now I've got to get organized on this particular track in this case, right? Let's see if I can do it in 5 minutes. So, all right, let's just close all this out. So we've got our MIDI kick 1. Is that expand? That's SSD sampler. Okay. So we are going to need to also label these. That's what's quite obvious to me. So, shoot, what was this one? Crap. That was expand. It's contact. Wow, that didn't sound as good as I thought it would. It's dry, dry, dry. Okay, good. Then now we have the inevitable overhead, but we have the overhead stuff here, so we can get rid of this for now. So we're going to delete these 2 tracks because we don't need them anymore. So we're going to delete them. So again, simplify, declutter and simplify the battlefield, right? Alright, so now we're good there. Let's go to our kick drum tracks. Why isn't this playing? Interesting. Tell me more. Why aren't you playing? It should play, but it's not. MIDI kick L dupe 1. There you go. That's really bizarre. Okay, so we can not worry about this anymore. How to make it active. What we are trying to still figure out is why this one isn't playing, right? So let's expand. This is DL5 sampler. This should be playing, and it's not, and it's bizarre. No, what's this doing here? Okay. It's the snare drum. That's why it's not playing. We want all the kick drums to play instead. So let's just paste this here. I can't tell which one is which, right? We're going to let this expand, so we're going to worry about that. So this is probably, that's the wet one, right? Yeah, so if we just do this. There we go. So we're figuring it out by process of elimination. All right, so hold on for a second. All right, so the screen went kaput. So right, so all right, there's one last thing we got to do, and then we're just going to do that here. Actually, we're going to take a break, I think, but all right, so we're going to burn this track, and then we've got to run. All right.